Alright, hey there groovy dudes and dudettes, this is Stomp Burpee Thompin', and the first race of the season is in the books! This is round one of the 2022 season for the Virginia Championship Hare Scramble Series. It's the Joe Lloyd Memorial Race held at Oak Ridge in Arrington, Virginia. So I'm super stoked. First race of the season. I had a pretty good race, but I was definitely way more rusty than I thought I'd be. And the most exciting part about this race is that I got my brother joining me. So it's his first race ever. He's in the line behind me, so he's going to be starting about 30 seconds behind me. But turns out he had a good day.
Get that bike out of the way.
He had a better overall time of about 5 minutes or so. So I'm racing 30 plus C, and I'm on a 2022 KTM 300 XCW. Now I normally finish at like the back third of my class, so I'm usually in no rush to get a whole shot, but I felt pretty good, so I just kind of hung with the pack here for as long as I could. We had this nice flowy start too. A lot of grass track to kick it off, so why not go rip for a little bit? Get the pre-race jitters just out of the way. The conditions were pretty top-notch. As you can see, there's absolutely no dust in the grass. And the woods got a little slick in spots here and there, a little bit muddy, but not too bad. It was pretty much close to hero dirt for most of the day. So I didn't get nearly as much riding in over the winter as I really wanted to, or probably should have. So that comes into play here in a little bit, but we're into the woods. Oh, I'm getting sloppy already. But yeah, just trying to keep her together. Hang with the pack for as long as I can. Again, I know most of the 30 plus C's are going to be passing me here. Yeah, conditions were really cool. This was my first time ever at Oak Ridge in Arrington. So I was pretty unfamiliar with the course, but I did watch a couple of videos that other riders made in years past. And it was pretty good overall. It was a little bit tight in some spots. I really tried to cut out all the super boring parts where I'm like struggling and that kind of stuff. Just try to keep the exciting moments in here. Well, exciting for me anyways. But yeah, good course overall. No major river crossings, no big jumps. But just a good traditional woods course.
My front tire is way too high.
Yeah, I had my PSIs up probably a bit too high. I didn't realize it was going to be quite that slick. But I got a pretty fresh AT81 on the back and a Bridgestone M59 with only a few races on it. So I just started riding dirt bikes last year, and I caught the second half of races with this series, VCHSS. So the goal this year is to knock out all 14 races if I can make them. And who knows, maybe even get like a 10th place trophy or something. We'll see. There's a lot of fast people I gotta try and get ahead of. Lap 1 feeling good. Feeling pretty good. A couple of rocky sections which were pretty wet and slick. But still just settling in. BCHSS had record numbers of online registrations for round one anyways, so it was a really good turnout. So good, in fact, they had delayed the start a little bit because so many people were signing up. So this is the first big, wide open section of grass track. They had probably like a good mile of it or so. You gotta stay inside these little stakes with the double arrows. You're supposed to stay inside of those, kind of like a checkpoint. That's what keeps everybody on track. So it gets a little tight in here in spots. I don't know about you, this is my favorite part of these races, just being in a wide open field, riding close to other people, and just hitting it in the spots. It's so much fun. The roost, maybe not as much fun, but it's good. There goes Jimmy.
Yeah, Jimmy!
He's pretty fast. And he definitely roosted me a little bit there. Nice little drop off right there. The grass track was so good because there was absolutely no dust. And really good grip too. You cannot ask for conditions better than that. So I'm pushing it pretty hard, and the theme of this race for me at least, is going to be arm pump. So I just apologize ahead of time. I'm going to beat that horse dead pretty badly, but I know everybody gets arm pump here and there, some worse than others. And quite simply, I didn't get enough time on the bike prior to this race, and even more importantly, my form kind of broke down, and I resorted to the old death grip and stuff on this first lap when I was ultra excited, and so those are the two primary contributing factors to that. I'm sure I just need to focus on form in the beginning of the race, and here's where I start feeling it. I don't know, maybe halfway through the first lap, I was pretty slow. My lap times were right around 30 minutes flat. Except for my second lap where I endured most of the arm pump. That one was slower by probably a couple of minutes. But I can feel it setting in and like, oh, okay, I know what's coming. I've dealt with this before, but again, this race was stuck out. It was much more severe than any other time I've ever had it. That person was giving the thumbs up there, so otherwise I probably would have stopped. You see someone rolling on the ground, writhing in pain, but they flashed the thumbs up. They're good to go. Let people pass. That's probably more the 35 plus line catching up to me there, the Victor line. Perfect weather. I think the high for the day was in the 40s, like the mid to high 40s probably. So it was nice and cool. Did not even come close to overheating, and I never took a sip of water this whole race. A couple of muddy spots that got pretty chewed up as the race went on. But I suppose those were pretty good for passing people too. And in my case, getting past. But I keep pushing, and the arm pump keeps setting in. But it's not to the point where it's really debilitating until about here. that arm pump sets in, and your forearms just get so fatigued and tired that you're slow with your clutch, you're slow with your brakes, and you tend to whiskey throttle in places. So hopefully I can eliminate that as I continue to evolve with my skills and just get better at managing.
That could have been bad.
Yeah, that could have ended a lot better, or a lot worse, sorry. That could have ended a lot worse. That huge, I think that was a huge oak tree, and I probably would have lost that battle that I crashed right in front of. But now it's bad. I bet my...
Here, arm bump now. Gotta chill for a second.
Yeah, I'm telling myself I gotta chill. Let's not do that again. That's time wasted spent on the ground. But my handguard got bent all funny, and it was putting a little pressure on my front brake, and I didn't realize it. Didn't realize it for a while. I had to bend it back up. A few slaps did that, but trying to continue moving fast without really making any more mistakes. And arm pump just, man, makes sections like that tough where you got to clutch through and yeah, that was a good little pass, little inside line right there. Nice job. Not sure who that was. So this is still the first lap, and I still don't know if I'm faster than my brother or not. Turns out that's him right there, slamming into that tree. And I realize it. I'm like, oh crap, he's faster than me. I gotta turn it up a notch, but I'm still dealing with this arm pump so bad. I'm getting caught up on these little trees and stuff, making tiny mistakes, and they snowball together. I'm sure you've all been there before. So I stall the bike out, and sure enough, he goes by me, and that's the last I see of him. Just struggling. Yeah, those bridges were pretty slippery. So I just take a quick second to shake my arm loose here. It's so bad I can barely hang on. And turns out there was a huge group of riders anyways, so it made sense to just let them all pass while I'm taking a few seconds to try and let the blood flow come back. Jump back on course and keep going. But now, as every little brother knows, your big brother's ahead of you. You can't let him win, you gotta chase him down, so that's what I'm trying to do here. But finishing up lap 1, you have this final section of grass track. It was actually pretty short, but decently fast. But at this point, again, like, my arms are so fatigued. The rest of my body's fine. I've been doing lots of cardio, trying to get in shape. But yeah, the arm pump thing. So coming through scoring, finishing up lap 1, not too shabby. Had that one really close call, but not too bad. Now I left this part in here on purpose. So you start the race, the start of your laps here on this open grass track section, and look, there's absolutely nobody around me, and somehow, some way, I low-side it on that turn. I had to leave that in because it was like the softest, just slowest get off ever. So that was pretty funny. But lap 2, still dealing with it. Yeah, I promise you, in future videos I won't be complaining about arm pump unless it's like an extreme situation, kind of like this, or But I know everybody gets it. Everybody's out there dealing with it, some more than others. Better technique will certainly help. Grass track section part 2, getting some roost. A little bit more. I took it easy through the grass track on this time through it. Trying to go fast where I can, but I'm trying to use this opportunity to get a little bit of a break. Man, the weather was just perfect. And then we dive back in. Just trying to flow, just trying to flow. Normally my arm pump stays with me for about 20 minutes. This race it felt more like 30 to 35 minutes. Which is why I'm crying and making such a big deal out of it. But lap 2, things are starting to get a little better. Again, the rest of my body feels perfectly fine. I feel mentally sharp and all that, but just forearms. This cat got stuck in a weird spot there. Flowing through lap 2. No major changes to the bike this year, just got a new graphics kit on it, but I am wearing the Asterisks knee braces, the carbon fiber ones. Had a few rides with those before racing with them, so I knew that they were pretty comfortable. I do feel like I can grip the bike much better with simple knee guards or knee pads. But I'm still figuring out if I want to wear the extra protection that the knee braces provide, which I guess mentally I feel more secure with those on. You know, you never need them until you need them. Versus just kind of winging it and going with the knee pads or guards and having noticeably better grip on the bike. Will that help alleviate arm pump and thus help alleviate potential crashes? Possibly. Something I'm still figuring out. But really fast people wear knee braces and do just fine, so it's probably all in my head. And continuing to feel better and better as lap 2 goes on. Again, this was my longest lap by a couple minutes. Had a good little back and forth with this person ahead of me there in the bright blue. And then finishing up lap 2. By this point, I'm feeling good. My arms feel much better, and so much to the point where I'm being told to slow down. Sorry about that. Coming in hot. But I'm feeling good. See the white flag? I know I got one last lap here, so I'm going to miss my 4th lap, unfortunately.
Goodbye, arm pump!
Sayonara, arm pump. And at this point, I'm finally experienced enough to know that it's not going to come back. So I am stoked to put down my best lap here. And on top of that, by my 3rd lap, I'm kind of entering a much better flow state, so I'm just more mentally sharp and more flowy, as everybody gets as they go through these races. So this was my best lap time by a little bit. It was much smoother. It's funny how that happens. I did a 6-hour Ironman race last year, and if I did get arm pump, it was for just maybe 15 minutes or so in the beginning of the race, and then it went away for the entire 6 hours. It's just this weird phenomenon. But trying to make up for lost time here. I spent a lot of lap 2 just alone out there. It was about an 8-mile course. I did 3 laps. The winners for the morning course did 4. But for lap 2, I barely saw anybody out there. It was really odd. Still thinking that I can possibly catch my brother here, but... Oh, there goes Sarah Baldwin. She was cooking with fire. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was Sarah Baldwin. I think, if I'm not mistaken, she won the overall for the morning race. So kudos. Hitting the big grass section in the middle of the lap for a third and final time here, and feeling good enough to pin it in a few spots. Taking the corners a lot better this time. Maybe not that one. But yeah, my brother did really well for his first race ever. I think he did, on the unofficial scoring, he got in about 119th out of approximately 240 some odd riders, and I got 144th. So approximately 5 minutes between us for our overall times, and he beat me by 25 spots. Pretty good. So I definitely look forward to racing against him another time. Yeah, feeling good. Open her up. This was a nice... yeah, so this left-hand turn's kind of like off-camber, uphill. You can kind of pin it, kind of not. I'm sure Patty Holloway in the main was pinned in 6th through this section, but I got her chooching pretty good right there. Not too bad. Love this little drop-off. Yeah, lap 3, feeling good. Had a couple back and forths with a few more people in lap 3. That's always a lot of fun when you actually kind of go back and forth with somebody for a little bit. It's kind of your own like mini battle within the bigger race. I hear you. Go on. This spot was just really pretty through here with all that green on the trail. I seriously wonder if... So I'm on the 300 XCW with that really soft suspension, and first and second gear are really low. I seriously wonder if the XC with the stiffer suspension and the linkage and the first and second gear are quote-unquote normal. I really wonder if that's the better bike for this stuff. I think it might be. But the bike is certainly not what's holding me back. I don't think so anyways. Probably after the season I'll probably get the suspension done. Maybe make it a little bit stiffer. But lap 3, I mean, I'm sitting down a lot still, which is just bad, I know, but I was standing up much more in lap 3. Because you get the confidence in your arms and all your controls. Another person cooking there, probably on their 4th lap. Or at least doing a faster 3rd than me. Nice pass.
Nice pass.
See, good form up there. Standing up, flowing, letting the bike dance. Ooh, good stuff. Gotta do more of that. Had a good good race towards the end with this person too. We were following each other for a little while. I honestly don't know if I ever passed him or not. There's a good example of taking an alternative line where it kind of backfires on you. I took the outside line in hopes that maybe it would give me a shot to get around him, but I lost the spot. That person's probably not in my class or anything anyways. And he's about to pass him too, but sometimes the alternative line is worth taking, sometimes it's not. Still feeling really good. Lot smoother through a lot of this stuff. Except for when I'm hitting trees. Think I get around him here. Yeah. Get to make a little pass there. Ooh, steady now. Just reminding myself, we don't need to wreck now. Did plenty of that earlier. So I think this is the final little battle I had. This person ahead of me was, man, we were so close in pace. I feel like I was maybe the ever so slightest amount faster than them. But I wasn't fast enough to really make a good pass. So I spent some time behind them, just kind of hoping that maybe they'll make a mistake, and if so, I got to be ready to take advantage of it. Well, they didn't make any big mistakes at all, at least none that I could take advantage of. But I stayed right behind this person for several minutes towards the end. And I finally just realized that, hey, I probably only got one shot to pass this person. And it's going to be in that open field section right before the finish line. That was only maybe a couple hundred meters or so, maybe, I don't know, 200-300 meters of open field section. And here it comes. So I know we got this muddy left turn, which I try to use to get ahead of them. But I goof it up and I end up falling back a little bit. I'm like, all right, well, I'm just going to kind of pin it. Let's see how fast they're willing to go here. So I just hold it for a little bit longer. Right into the finish here. Good way to end it, I guess. So that's it. Lap 3, first race in the books. It was a good one. Can't wait till the next one. Thanks for watching, everybody.